Good morning and welcome to Daily Game Design. I had a thought this morning and I want to toy with it just a little bit. I'm going to be pitching Sugar Shack um, to Dave Beck over at Paverson Games. And one of the reasons I think it's an interesting fit is that they do games about this like artisan maker kind of stuff. Actually, it's these two main ones so far. I'm not too sure what this is actually. So here it is, rich thematic tabletop experiences from Paverson. I think it's Paverson. Actually, I don't know. But I have not seen this one. Most legendary yearbook spread. Medium weight complexity. This is not at all what I would expect from this theme or box cover design. Okay. Well, also, I'm starting so late this morning, I'm definitely not going to be having a long stream. So I don't want to get too distracted. Oh, they have new staff? Wow. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. I don't know about this Discord channel. Am I in it? I don't remember. Sure. See, like, this is the kind of server stuff I don't know how to do, and I would like to know how to do. I don't know what this is. Is this... So what is this? I have a lot going on. That's because you need to first head over to the server rules channel. That's amazing. Okay. Um, what did I do? Server rules. I thought I did this. Once you've read and accepted, treat everyone else in the server with respect. Do not post any of the following. Okay, spam, etc. There's channels. Basically stay on topic, is that it? Okay. Sure. Okay. Oh, I have to wait for a few minutes. Anyway, okay, so I'm thinking of pitching to these folks, and one of the things is knowing that theme matters a fair amount. I have not played Distilled, but I have played Luthier. And anyway, when I started with Sugar Shack, there was a focus on theming. Oh, hey Francisco. Sorry I didn't have my my kind of chat screens going. Yeah, so yeah, he responded. I yeah, they're in the process. He's got, as I mentioned during that stream, he's got a bunch of people giving feedback, and he recognized some of the stuff that I ended up running into, in particular structuring the information in a way that would be better consumed by a person who hasn't played the game, like a person who's learning the game. I think you have to make your server community server. You know what? I actually I forgot about this, but yes, there is a setting I need to change. I just realized. You're right. I remember somebody mentioning this on well, some time ago, but I didn't realize, or I didn't remember to do it when I was at my laptop. Whoa. Now this is a tricky thing. Those are really nice. We have not included Okinas up until this point. I think I spelled that all right. Okinas. Yeah, I don't know. This is actually going to stir some controversy, I believe. I haven't gotten the games yet. I just checked the tracking yesterday and should arrive on the 9th, it said. So they did the right thing by saving themselves money. I don't know how she got these. What do you mean the 7th? Oh, you said that the same person reached out to you, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, what I've been thinking with Sugar Shack is almost like uh I feel like I've streamlined so much that there is no real mechanic that, well, I don't know. I can think about it out loud here, but I feel like the Sugar Shack, the maple syrup making process is no longer really apparent in the game. You know what though? I haven't looked at distilled, so I played maybe once, and I think maybe I clicked through. I have not played. Oh no, I guess I played. I have played a few games of viticulture. I want to say in the app, and I didn't want to learn the rules through a tutorial, so I clicked through and was very confused for a long time. Eventually, I understood that there was a, what is it, summer and winter or something like that. You had to save meeples for later. Is it meeples? It is worker placement, right? Yeah. I have not spent a lot of time with it though. It's actually it's just mostly I think been like a cultural thing for me and a personal thing, also a church thing, because I don't drink, so I don't. We like I don't. I had a copy of Viticulture at one point, but I don't really promote like the winemaking aspect, and so I definitely have not. Oh, okay. Well, it's actually come up. There was a friend of mine um that brought distilled or wanted to bring distilled and teach it on a Monday, and I said, yeah, that's not a good fit for us, especially in the church office building. That would be definitely unwelcome if any like church members came, or in particular leadership, if leadership showed up. And but anyway, I don't mean to I think I did it. Did I do it? Once you've read and accepted should automatically be assigned the role of member. This allows you access to other channels here in the server. Head over to roles react. I think I already. It says distiller. Oh, I see. Because you are one who distills. I see. Similar to Sugar Shack. Yeah, interesting. You get the response, but Jesus turned water into wine. So it's like it's generally our community's perspective that wouldn't have been like hard wine. I know that's like I know that's not the general view on it. It's both. I mean, culture of drink as opposed to the drink itself. Yeah, I mean, I've been around the arguments, and now I've even been around more Adventists who will drink a little bit, and their whole thing, of course, is like don't drink to drunkenness. Um, but then I have a lot of then there will be more people in my community who think that any sort of alcohol consumption is a problem. I grew up that way. It's what's most comfortable for me for sure. I've never had alcohol. Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Did you grow up with some standards around alcohol, or did you just kind of drink for a little bit and stop, or you just never had a drink? This is partly what it was. In the settings was I remember clicking around. Here it is. I personally hate the taste. Yeah. Where was it? I just want to see enable community. That's where it is. Okay. All right. Well, what I've been thinking here, and I really am doing a very short stream today, like probably another 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes. I thought, what about having the evaporator? I know I just designed it out of the game recently, but I'm wondering about whether the evaporator could be a module. I don't know, like that's maybe a fun word just to say, and then not have any mechanical ideas for it. Module sounds cool. But one thing I had in the past was actually what was that called? There's some special machinery. Reverse osmosis machine, RO machine. What is this? Give me sugar. I feel like that's a reference. So there's a reverse osmosis machine I toyed with for a little while. And what that was, it was pretty much something that it kind of seemed like something you could add to the game if you wanted to play with it, or if you wanted to buy one, that was one option. If you wanted to buy it and add it almost like an upgrade, you could do that. So I'm actually wondering if finding a way to include more of the actual process in the gameplay, I think that would be more compelling to Paverson. No, not a reference. Just me saying how much sugar drink than alcohol drink. Yeah. All about that sugar as well. But I really should take a break. I think I've been drinking a little more soda these days than usual. I had a couple yesterday. We had a nice game day over at Rainbow Bay. Some of our friends, they've been hosting over there for a while, and it was nice to see them. But yeah, I just sat down, had a fancy Coke. I forget what cherry. It was like a cherry ice cream thing. I forget what it was called. Cream cherry cream or something. And then I also had a Mountain Dew. Crazy. So I designed the evaporator out of the game where it was a step between the sugar bush, which is of course the timer, and the supply here. So there was a step between the sugar bush and then having access there's a step between the sugar bush, which is the supply, and having access to those cubes. And when I played with my friend Ronson, he was so irritated by that step that he had to care about that I thought, yeah, I don't really need that in there. And then I just designed it out. And I knew that I was removing one aspect of flavor, of theme from the game, which is that maple syrup takes a while to process. And so by filling the evaporator, that was essentially illustrating the process including the theme in there. Okay, let's see. Before you end, wanted to ask, would you be willing to try learning the JJ prequel? Do you actually say JJ? I have to say, my impression, my feeling is to want to say Juggernauts or something other than JJ. And it could be that I know people with that name, and so it's weird for me to say JJ. Or do you always hear Junkyard Juggernauts? You usually say JJ when you're writing it. It's not that you just like hear Junkyard Juggernauts in your head and you say JJ. Because I read it as well as JJ, and for some reason it's very awkward to me. Designing from the rules I'm working on. Okay, wait a second. Would you be willing to try learning the JJ prequel game I'm designing from the rules I'm writing on stream or off? If you don't have the time, no worries, but thought you would be able to give valuable rules feedback. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be a fun little project. Sure, send it over. I'll try tomorrow. The thing is, I have school 3 days in a row, today through Wednesday, and man, Pupper's dog, welcome. What kind of stream is this? Right? What kind of messy stream is this? What a waste. So every day except Saturday, I stream game design and like game design talk and topics. So like I'm working on a maple syrup related game, and that's what I'm talking with my friend Francisco about. Pupper's dog, are you into game design? What do you do? What's interesting to you? I actually love this question. What kind of stream is this? Yeah, that's Francisco. Retro Rewind Pod. It'd be next week. First draft done this week. Yeah, sure. Oh, nice. Pupper's dog, are you in the Board Game Design Lab Facebook group? Yeah, so what's happening here is like I have various projects. I just pitched a dice game to Yellow. Maybe you saw. Maybe you saw. Maybe you saw they put out a call for dice games. Here, let me show you. So I'd say Board Game Design Lab Facebook group has been the most valuable game design resource for me in general. 1 second. So where did it go? So it's right here. So I definitely recommend you join this group. I joined it. Let me see. I joined it in 2023, and there are a lot of like full-time or professional designers in here. There are a lot of, just in general, published designers, and there is a lot of very useful discussion going on a lot of the time. Anything from like specific design questions to like bigger picture industry questions, or like here's sell sheet advice. Like I posted a sell sheet. This was related to the game that I just pitched to Yellow right here, Party Wave, and I got a bunch of helpful feedback. So if you're not in that Facebook group, I definitely recommend it. If you're a Christian, then there's also Christian board gamers. And this is less productive in here. It's less like focused on, getting things done. And there tends to be just like some nice people posting about their games, or guys are starting to try, like they're starting YouTube channels and stuff, or something like that. Like this guy is the designer, one of the co-designers of Sagrada, so he's just hanging out in here. Anyway, lots of cool stuff. Yeah, and then like what Francisco was bringing up, one thing that I like to help with is rules and rules feedback. I've written a few rule books for one publisher and helped with a few others for a few other publishers. So I've got some experience with that, and I just read like a dummy. So I think it can help people get their heads around what, you know, people who don't have exposure to their game actually might think about it as they learn it from the rules. So what kind of games are you working on then, Pupper's dog? What kind of projects do you have? Yeah, I think in the next like 5 minutes or so I'm going to wrap up, but I just wanted to process that idea just a little bit more. So either adding back some aspect of the process where things kind of slow down, but maybe I don't know why it would be better or more fun, but it would be more thematic. That's kind of the issue here, is that it would be more thematic. Now, the cool question would be whether or not oh, Space Base, yeah. Space Base, here, let me show you what do I do with that. Well, there are also like Discord servers that have been pretty cool. But here's my Space Base is definitely my most played game on BGA. So if you ever want to play on BGA, you're welcome to join me. This is my handle right here. So feel free to add me if you want some BGA time. And I think I have a turn, and this is a game I've been clicking through and not understanding at all. Like, we've been playing and I don't know what's happening. Not really. Oh, maybe I take this. I feel like we're just doing something wrong. I think that's what's happening. Pretty sure we're just doing something wrong. Retro, baby. That's my first time seeing you. You have an account, Francisco. I like how you're nicely broadly branded. Like you're very consistent across platforms. That's good. Retro something retro everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, you can see I have you know, a few games going these days, but there have been times when I haven't been that active. So my question is, how could I make this process feel good? In other words, you know, I took out the card. I took out a step, and that step was irritating, at least to one player, and probably to more because it's just more management. It's more like it's less immediacy. You know, it's things just kind of take longer to get going, and you, the way it was set up before, what I tried was that this was a location, and then if you sent a worker down here, that's when you would refill your evaporator. And it was kind of, it felt bad to come down here because it felt sort of wasted, like you're just obligated to do it, and so it just didn't feel very good in general. Like if you forgot, then you felt like super behind, and if you didn't forget and you did it, then it just felt like, I feel like I'm wasting, I feel like I'm doing something I don't want to do now so I can do something I want to do later. And I don't see that as being a problem, but I wonder if there's just another way to approach this thing. You already tried, the longer you let it evaporate, the more syrup you get. The unfortunate thing is, that's literally the opposite of what happens with syrup making. It's the longer you wait, the less syrup you have. But no, it's actually the longer you wait, the more likely it is your syrup is gonna go bad. So what I actually tried to do, this was at the very beginning, was I actually tried to represent the syrup making process literally, where I had like 4 cubes. This is way back now. I don't even know, Francis. I feel like you were around like at the really the early stages of Sugar Shack. But I had like 4 cubes, and then one turn would go by and they would drop to 3 cubes, then 2 cubes, and then 1 cube, showing actually like the evaporation process. And oh, I bet I'm certain I have a mod of that. Okay, but I really do need to go. Older designs. Let me try this one. Sugar Shack 3. Oh yeah, here it is. So what you would do is you would go over here to the sugar bush like this, or you'd go like this, grab a bunch of cubes, fill your holding tank. You'd have to jump back. The holding tank would move cubes into the evaporator, and then a turn would go by, and a cube, like you would send a cube back to the supply, and then another turn would go by, and you'd send another cube back, until finally you have syrup like that, and then you would have to catch it down here or it would go bad. So it was like this automated step-by-step process, which seemed very cool and very thematic, but it's very irritating. Like, it's not fun to manage these little cubes. And then there was like no space for it either. So I ditched that a very long time ago, replacing it with I wonder if I changed by iteration 7. Oh yeah. So I went from small cubes to big cubes. And now it just takes time. So this would still step down, but you wouldn't lose cubes. Yeah, that's right. It could tick down with some component. I thought the logistics puzzle would be pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I could imagine a timer, but still, like, making somebody manage an extra step when there's already like a fair amount of cleanup or of upkeep. I feel like it's not super exciting to go in that direction. Just to have more to do. Because right now, what you have is, yeah, that's one reason why I went this way, is like it's just so much cleaner than it was. So, like, there's already these steps, right? So you got your workers out in town. You have to collect your workers, bring them back. That's what this means. Then if you have any staff in your waiting room, you shift them over to join the active staff area. Then you fill your cubes. Like you fill per the number shown on this card right here. So you add that number of cubes. Then you take an income. If you have one, you take one off of the partnerships card. So there's already multiple steps every 2 or 3 turns. So that's just tiring, I think. But it's the whole reason I took out the evaporator. It's because it was just another step. It was just one more step of upkeep. Anyway, that's it for me. I need to head out and go to school. But thanks for hanging out. And I look forward to the JJ prequel, to suffer through that on stream next week. Anyway, have a great day. Be productive. Bye-bye for now.